So in this session, we are going to talk about populations. After talking about the size and the number of population, it is important to understand how they are composed of. So there are different individuals that vary across different age structures and sex. Okay, so here is an example of lesser flamingo, which appears different because they have differential feather patterns. That is, in case of adults, you will usually find them in pink color, while in case of juveniles, they are usually around in gray or dab colors. Okay, so there are three different phases, or we can divide organisms lifetime in three different phases or the groups, that is pre-reproductive, reproductive and post-reproductive. So these particular phases allow you to understand how a population is growing, reducing or stabilizing, because pre-reproductive phases talks about the number of individuals that are available for reproduction. I mean the number of young ones which in time will become adult individuals and they will reproduce to produce more juveniles, and they will again be pre-reproductive in phase. Okay, so this will be the cycle and the feedback mechanism that will go on. So the pre-reproductive phases individual or the juvenile individuals are more in number, then the population talks about increasing. If they are in post reproductive phase, then they will not be able to reproduce anymore. Hence, if the more individuals are present in post reproductive phase, they'll just decrease the population. So this kind of distribution can be understood by population pyramid. Population pyramids are basically a graphical representation of a gender, and they show us the distribution of different age groups of a population with respect to their available sexes, and they show if the population is growing, stabilizing or decreasing. So they can be found in different stages. There might be rapid increase, then increase, and then expanding, then it will stabilize, and then it can be declining. So if we observe them, we'll find in different geometrical shapes. So if it is a triangular phase, it is usually increasing. The triangular ones usually refers to increasing population. The bell-shaped curves, they usually represent stabilizing. Urn-shaped pyramids represent decreasing population. So here is an example of population pyramids of humans across different age timelines and age sex pyramids. Here we can see that in 1999 Mexico has this rapid increasing of population, and this was mentioned or can be depicted in the form of this age population pyramid. Here it is more sort of triangular, and hence it represents an increasing population, because the number of individuals that are able to reproduce are more than the number of individuals which are not able to reproduce. Hence the increasing population has this sort of triangular structure. In case of US and Sweden, we can observe a different sort of format where the number of reproductive individuals is more than that of the juvenile individuals, and hence this is more sort of stable population. Similarly, Sweden also represents similar kind of population structure, but here as we can see, the number of individuals in the juvenile phase is less than that of the adult phase. So this is talking about a slightly decreasing population. Just have to understand and see what is the difference between the pre-reproductive individuals or the juveniles and with that of the old individuals with respect to the reproductive individuals. Okay, you have to see how the ratio differs. If the juveniles are less, that means the number of organisms that are able to reproduce after a particular time has decreased. Even if I am able to reproduce right now, but if the next generation that I'll be producing are not able to reproduce, then the population will not increase. And if the number of old individuals are more, that means the population is going to a standstill. Okay, in 2015, after the one child policy in China, there has been seen a steep decrease in the number of young individuals or juveniles. So the number of reproductive phases or reproductive individuals are more. because it has been recently applied. Okay, and there are less older age individuals. So this is a more sort of stabilizing population, which has China is being achieving, right? But is in case of India, we are seeing sharp increase in the population. We have a certain triangular structure. In case of Japan, it has achieved a more stabilizing population as well. So here we are seeing different form of populations which can be assessed through a simple graphical representation, and that is age sex pyramids. And remember, in age sex pyramid, triangle represents increasing population, bell shaped represents stabilizing population, and urn shaped represent decreasing population. So there might not be directly urn shaped, so there might be differentially shaped pyramids, but you have to find and see how they vary. The most important factors you have to see is the number of individuals that are in juvenile phase with respect to the number of individuals which are in old, and you have to consider how they vary with the number of adult individuals. Okay, if the number of juvenile individuals is less, then the population will be either stabilizing or declining with respect to number of old individuals. If the old individuals are in more number, that means the population is not increasing because they are not able to reproduce anymore. After understanding the size and structure and composition of population, it's important to understand how this composition and the structure is regulated or maintained. It is maintained usually by the number of birth and immigration, which are the positive factors, and the number of deaths and emigration, these are the negative factors. Okay, so birth and death are the naturally occurring processes that influences a closed population. But let's say there are multiple population across different areas, and there is exchange of individuals that is happening. So there is inflow of individuals, that is called as immigration. If there is outflow of individuals, that is called as emigration. So it also increases and regulates the number and composition of entire population. So if we understand that in a numerical sense, we'll see that at any particular given time, the population is n to the factor t, right? And when there is an increase of particular time period, it will be t plus 1. So here the increase in time period might be 1 year, or it might be 10 year. Okay, for example, let's say I'm counting population of tiger in every year, so it will be so nt would be 2001 and nt plus 1 would be 2002. Here, because we are the time period mentioning is 1 year, but in case of human census that happens, so we take census at every 10 year. So the last census happened in 2011 and the next census will happen at 2021. So here the t plus 1 or the t period, the time period that we are talking is 10 year. So you have to understand that the time period doesn't mention always 1 year or one particular time, but it is a period of reoccurrence that is happening, right? So if we count nt plus 1, that is the change of population over time, then we will see how was the initial population and the net change, that is net inflow plus net outflow. So this is the net change that happened to the population. So if we show that in a shortened format, it will talk about the number of birth, the number of deaths, the number of immigration, the number of emigration. So if we count that, we will find this particular formula. This can be used to answer the questions which ask about the change in population over time, and there is number of birth and number of deaths are given.